supporting here students. Okay, I hope you all following this one. Yes sir, this is what the example. Okay, example for the sequential logic circuits. Okay, if I putting the 0, it's executing the at the with the time delay. If I mention the time delay here, the it is not having the any delay here first statement purpose, but it is taking the delay of 5 seconds. It means here the until the execution of this statement, it will not execute the second statement, but it is taking how much time for after the execution? 5 seconds. And similarly 10, 15, it means after how much time it is taking now here? 35. Okay, 35. It's for the execution of to complete the sequential block statement execution. It is taking what the how much time? 35 seconds. Okay, if I consider go with what the parallel block statements, it will not consume this much time. Usually this much time it will not consume. That's what the we'll prefer what the parallel block statements only in many times. But if it is necessary, if you are giving the higher priority to the execution of the these order to these statements, then we'll go with the definitely sequential. But if it is not necessary, I don't have the any priority to the any statements here, then I would go with what the parallel business block statements. How to write the parallel block statements, we'll see. Just to copy whatever I written on the board, first to copy this one, these things, this small point, this number of points. Later you take this one and then you have to copy this one. Copied. Okay, then I will move with the next topic. I'm heading to the next, that is what the parallel block statements. What parallel block statements are? Parallel block statements. Parallel block statements, for parallel block statements, in this the each and every statements will execute parallelly with the same time. We have the start time will be what the same for all the statements. Starting of the execution of these statements is what the same time. It means they might be taking this one as the 5 seconds, this might be taking the 10 seconds. That's not matter here. But the execution of these statements always starts with the same time, whatever you have the given the time. If it is starting the execution of the at the level of for the 0 second, definitely this statement also will take the same as the starting time as 0. Parallel they will be start executing each and every statement here. But this might be taking the 5 seconds for the execution, will not bother. This might be taking the 10 seconds, this might be taking 15 seconds for the period of execution of this time, will not bother about. But the starting of this execution time is what the same. That's what the here we will not worry about this starting time. Will have the same for all the statements, but the execution time would be different for every statement here. But the starting time will be same here. Okay, here we will use the two keywords. That's what the fork and the there we use what the begin and end. Ali use maddi begin and end use maddi. But here I will be using the fork. There I can be using the fork and the join. Fork and the join. Okay, fork and join. As I already shown this one, this is what the fork. This is what the fork. This might be, this is what the starting. Okay, we have the starting. We have the fork if we given, then it will be combining join at the end of the this this complete these many number of multiple blocks, multiple statements will be joined together at the end. That's what the we'll use what the fork and join statements. Okay, fork and join keywords so you will be used within this fork and join only. We'll write the parallel statements, all the statements. Okay, and also we will always this is to be always this fork and join will not be right and written directly. Here also we will use the initial keyword for the initial statement also. Initial statement also will be using before the under the initial statement only we will write the fork and join. Okay, but the number of execution these execution of these statements will start the at the same time. But they might be taking the different times for the execution, that will not worry. Okay, for example, same example will be taking this one here for this also. But thing is that here we'll be using what the only thing begin I am changing and end also I am changing here. Begin and end also changing. Begin, this is what we are to write here, fork. I have to write here what the join. This is what the parallel programming parallel block statements will be executed like this. But here, if I give the time is here the 0 seconds. This is what the simple example. If I give the time delay, if I mention the delay for the each and every statement, it would be start with the what the 0. It would start. It would might be taking the how much time? 5. It might taking what the 10. It might take the 15. Yes, sir. Okay, what is the value here? No, 20. You take this. What is the value here? Complete. Yeah, it is taking the same for the 0 seconds means what? It might be taking 0. How much it is? 0 only. And now it is taking what the 5 seconds for this one as the 5 seconds. This what the 10 means what the 10 only. It might be 20 means what the 20. These will comes these remaining three statements will comes under these comes these can become under the what the fourth statement itself, because it is a more time it is taking anyhow. It's what the timing here 20. But in the sequential logic circuits, we'll be calculating the first, second, third, fourth. This is what the 35. Here we are in the sequential logic circuits, sequential block statements. But here the parallel block statements will last whatever the statement is executing. Okay, which is having the more time to execute. That one to be considered. What is the time here? What is the time here? 20 is the higher time. 20 is the highest time. Because which one is having the higher time, that one is to be considered for the execution of the whole all the statements. But in the sequential logic circuits, sequential block statements, we'll be putting all, we'll adding the all the statements timing over there, because we need to wait for the first statement execution to execute the second statement. That will consume the more time. But we can directly we can say is that how much time it is taking in the parallel block statements means what the whichever having the higher time for the execution, that is to be higher time to this one. This for the here the what is the here value here 20. This 20 time within the 20 seconds only, these will also be executed automatically. But it is not waiting for the execution of the first, second, third for the execution of the fourth statement. It is already executing. And also even the execution within the execution of this the fourth statement, these might be executed automatically. So that only one statement is taking the higher time, that is to be considered as the parallel block statements execution time. Here the maximum time is what the 20, there in the sequential 35. We need to add, here will not add, we will consider the higher value here as the parallel execution, parallel statement execution. Okay, okay, this, just to copy this one, copied. Okay, next we'll go with what the special features of blocks. Some features are there. Okay, nothing like that. It's not that much tough here. We'll have the very simple concepts here. Special features of block. Here the blocks will have some special features as there are three different features are there. One is what nested blocks. Nested blocks. Another one is the named block. Third one is what the disabling named block. Disabling of the named blocks. Okay, nested blocks, named blocks, and what here the disabling of the named blocks. These are some special features are there. Nested blocks means what? Will have the if you have the nested block means what here the blocks inside the another block. We can say for the nested block. Means if you have the two blocks are there, which what are those blocks? Within a sequential block, will have the parallel blocks also. Means what here I can write with the begin and the end is there. Yes, sir. This is what the sequential. Within this, I can also have the fork, and the join also. This one is called as the nested blocks. This one is called as the nested block. We can also have some values here. We can define some variables here as the reg is equals to something. Okay, reg equals to something as the and also reg equals to some values here, and also we have some initial initiation also should write here compulsory initial. Without initial, we will not write these things here. You should start the initial also here. Initial. This is what the nested blocks. We call them as the nested block. For example, if I go with what the initial login. Okay, begin x equals to 1 bit of b of 0, fork 5, y equals to 1 bit of 1, binary 1, this was the 10, z equals to x comma y, x comma y. Okay, then write the join here, and the 20 w equals to x y yx very wx yx, then I have to write what the end. Okay, now we can understand this one as we started our writing the program with the help of for the initial. Okay, initial statement, that's the small letter only should be. Begin, we begin, and end is what the sequential block statements. Then we'll begin only, we'll define the x equals to 1 bit of 0. Even you can also define the y equals to 1 bit of 1. Okay, 1 bit of 1. So that I will define the x and y values as the 0 and 1. Okay, well, what we are doing is the parallel program execution, parallel features of parallel block statements. We use the fork and the join. We are doing we are executing this y equals to 1 bit of 1 only, that's the value is here, the output is what the 1 only, and z is what the z equals to xy is there, xy is nothing but the 0 1 is what the decimal value 1 only, and the z is what the at the same time, it might be taking the same time, but after the execution of this one only, it will be executing. It is taking how much time here? 20 minutes 20 seconds. Yx is what the 10, this was the 2 only. It means here we are doing the both we are using sequential block statements and even the parallel block statement within this. This one is called the nested blocks. Okay, next we will move to the named blocks. Named blocks means what? here the block 1, block 2, we will be giving the names here. Okay, what we are doing here, named blocks means what, the we'll be having the block 1, named blocks will have the block 1, will have the block 1, and the what, the block 2, like this will have the names, but we are not exactly, we are writing here an exact code here, but block 1, block 2. Okay, block 1 is named with the, as the one is that is having the begin, initial. Okay, just to write the initial, then we will to write what here, begin and end, and the one more is that this is what the block 1, and also here the block 2, initial. I'll be using here the parallel program, block statements here, fork, and where the join also. This is what the block, this is what the named blocks, as the block 1 can have the sequential block statements, and the block 2 can have the, would have the, this one as the parallel block statements, like this. We can name as what, the named blocks here. Here also you can write the of your own, whatever you have the clear idea about this one. We can begin some values you have to give, and then you can give the concatenation, some examples. You can also write your own also. But thing is that you should follow the names as the block 1, block 2. Within the block 1 we will be having the sequential block statements. Block 2 can have the parallel block statements. Even you can also mix up with the block 0 as the initial, begin, and also you can also write the end. Within this one we have the 2 blocks here, means we are writing the 3 blocks. Within the first 0 block we are writing the 2 blocks. This is what the sequential, this is also sequential, we are writing here the parallel also here, like this. Even we are writing the nested and also named blocks in this one. Okay, if you want to disable some blocks, if it is necessary, then only we will be having, okay, disabling of the named blocks. What are this? We can use the one keyword, that is what, the disable. What is this? Disable. If I use the, while writing the program, if I use the, in the programming only, if I use the keyword as the disable, okay, disable, then definitely that block will be disabled with the block 1, block 2, whichever you want to disable, that one to be given name, it's what, the disable. Okay, disable. Okay, if you want to have the block 2, if you want to disable, then you could have mentioned here what, the end baritiralla, end barakkitta munchene, if you want to block 1 you will disable madbekidre, if you can use the disable block 1, you can write here only block 1. Definitely this disable block 1 will give the disable the block 1, disabling of. If you want to disable block 2, you can write mention here block 2. Disable is the keyword used for the disabling of the named blocks. If you are interested to, sometimes it is not necessary to write execute that particular block number, block name, then definitely you can give the disable particular block name here. That's what we call, that one we call for the disabling of named blocks. Okay, these are all what the writing a program for will be behavioral model programming with the this type of sequential blocks and the parallel block statement. This is what the exactly 10 marks they will ask in the main examination. Okay, explain the sequential block and the parallel blocks in the what, the behavioral model. In the ವೇರ್ಲಾಗ್ HDL ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನ, ನಿಮ್ಮ behavioral model ದಾಗ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, 4th model ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲವ. It might be asking the 8th question. In the question paper of the 8th question, they might be asking in the examination as the 10 marks. Explain the, already this question is asked many times, explain the sequential blocks and the parallel blocks with the ವೇರ್ಲಾಗ್ HDL ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Even if you have the same names of the blocks, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆದದ, ಇನ್ನು 3rd model ದಾಗ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನೀವು. 3rd model ದಾಗ ಸೇಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತದ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್. ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ 4th model ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. This is all about the writing. We need these many blocks here, features here for writing the program. Okay, while using these many features, these many blocks, We'll start writing the program.